Hello, good evening, and welcome to Eye on Port. Once again, the special edition happening live in the studios here away from the port environment. The program is proudly brought to you by Ghana Oil Company Limited, also Ghana Community Network Services, that is GCNet, and Ghana Revenue Authority Customs Division as well. And then also West Blue Consulting. These are our proud sponsors, and a lot more are also on the line, and we will be announcing them as we move on. Folks, this program is designed to bring the port activities closer to you and also you closer to the port. And this time in the studio, we expect you to be interacting with those who operate and man affairs within the port environment, and also get you to know what they are doing over there so that it helps you to clear your goods out of the port easily, or helps you to export your goods out of this country quite easily. Today, I am fortunate. I have the men in uniform in the studio. I have been able to drag them in the studio. Commander Entwiabebio is my first man on my right-hand side. He's a Chief Superintendent Joseph Entwiabebio, Commander Marine, Port and Railways. So, Commander Bebio, good to see you.
Thank you.
I'm happy to see you.
It's my pleasure to also be here.
Yeah.
And we talk about activities at the port.
Good. And then I've also been able to drag the Navy Command as well into the port. Commodore Joe Kuntor is a JW, it should be Commodore J.O., is it? J.O., okay. So Commodore J.O. Kuntor, he's a flag officer commanding Eastern Naval Command at the Naval Base in Tema. Now, these men control security around the port and maritime business, and we talk a lot about security around the port industry. So if you were one of those people who used to complain about theft around the port industry, or probably you may have encountered one or two thievery around the port industry, today is your day. You are encouraged to call into the program. That's if you have any issues. If you are one of those who have also gone on sea and have encountered any security challenges, piracy, whatsoever, today is your day. We expect you to call in. The numbers to call 030-294-8901, 030-294-8901. Also, the numbers that you can WhatsApp on 020-866-3161, 020-866-3161. You can send a WhatsApp. Please do not call the WhatsApp number. I know that those of you calling from outside the country often like to call the WhatsApp calls, but the WhatsApp number, you cannot call it. You can only call this number. So we're going to talk security at the port pretty shortly, and that's when we come back after giving you some of the news and activities that are happening around the port industry locally. First of all, Customs and West Blue, they have officially launched the application that you can just tap, download, and be able to tell how much your goods are supposed to cost in the port. Take a listen.
The Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority has assembled members of the press in a forum as an effort to educate public on current enhancements in the trade and port clearance system. Customs since 2002 has partnered IT solutions companies to create a secure trade platform that facilitates the exchange of information between the government of Ghana and the trade and logistics community. Customs is currently embarking on a smart ports initiative where all port clearance processes are automated and made simpler and faster. Currently, collaborations between the Customs Division and West Blue Consulting has introduced the Ghana Trade Hub mobile app, which allows importers to check the estimated duty payable on goods and vehicles as well as track their consignments. Hector Obidiaba, Revenue Assistant Customs GRA, illustrated the process to acquire information regarding the estimated duty payable on goods and vehicles. He said to check duties for general goods, you need to enter your HS code, which is a classification number for particular commodity, also your insurance, currency to pay in, and your freight value.
So for instance, you want to do for general goods. Number one is the HS code. You enter your HS code. You enter your insurance, your currency, your freight value, ancillary charges, and ex-works. That is if you have them. So once you enter everything, you only hit calculate. When you hit it, the system is going to do a breakdown of how the duty is being calculated for you.
For used vehicles, you can check your estimated duties payable by using make, model or year version of vehicle, or check by using the chassis number of vehicle. He emphasized that these estimated duties are between 80 to 90% close to the actual duty payable, and is intended to serve as a guide for importers to budget in order to avoid unexpected charges that may lead to the payments of rents and demurrages.
The system will get your vehicle for you. Now, I repeat that is not the duty. It's an estimated duty because other charges may be added to it.
Kwesi Bobiansa, an assistant commissioner in charge of communications and also a public relations officer of the GRA, advised all importers and the general public to acquire tax identification numbers, which are required to track consignments on the mobile app, because without it, it has become close to impossible to deal with government agencies.
I mean, now if you don't have things, you cannot do a lot of things, especially if you are transacting business with government agencies. So let's continue with the education.
Alfred Apio, Chief Revenue Officer of Customs, GRA, said this initiative by the Ghana Revenue Authority is of the intention to bring transparency on all customs activities to the importer in order to facilitate his or her business.
You see, you're on top of what you are doing. You know at a point you can track your consignment and know that it is at examination. My declaration is at compliance. You know what you do to yourself. You can organize yourself. Put maybe whatever resources you need at a point to do what. You know at what point you're going to pay the duty. You even know the amount of duty to be paid. So no one can come in and tell you that you are paying X when it is Y.
Now, when you want to secure goods and properties as well as people and all of that, you try to get insurance. Now, there's also one aspect of the insurance that if you're traveling outside the geographical boundaries of Ghana, you require that particular insurance. It's called the ECOWAS brown card. Now, those who travel, they cut goods from here to the neighboring countries, they require this brown card a lot. This week, the brown card day was launched.
The ECOWAS Brown Card Day has been celebrated in Accra by the Ghana National Bureau of the ECOWAS Brown Card Insurance Scheme to commemorate the date on which the ECOWAS Brown Card Insurance Scheme protocol was signed by the heads of ECOWAS. The ECOWAS Brown Card is a complementary insurance card that allows a member of the ECOWAS community to be covered by his or her insurance beyond the geographical limitations of Ghana. The Brown Card is always issued to members of the ECOWAS sub-region anytime insurance is procured. However, it is often useful when one embarks on a journey or is found beyond the geographical boundaries of Ghana or their home regions. The ECOWAS Brown Card Scheme was established on 29th May 1982 at Cotonou, Benin, by the Authority of Heads of States and Government of the ECOWAS. A Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration lauded the robust implementation of the ECOWAS Brown Card Insurance Scheme in spite of many ECOWAS policies failing to be implemented.
Ghana National Bureau of the ECOWAS Brown Scheme and the scheme itself has done very well, given the very difficult circumstances. I would say the Brown Card Scheme has managed to chart a very upwardly mobile course for itself.
Commissioner of Insurance, Justice Yao Ofori, expressed that the risk associated in the cross-border carriage of people and goods is the very essence of the ECOWAS insurance scheme and has encouraged trade facilitation, unlike before when it didn't exist.
The scheme guarantees compensation to third-party victims of cross-border accidents, thereby addressing the problem of motor road accident risk, which previously hindered free movement and trade facilitation in the sub-region.
The chairman of the Ghana National Bureau, Victor Obeng Adia, said the ECOWAS Brown Card Insurance Scheme has come a long way since its inception in May 1982 and has been able to create a conducive and secure working environment for members who engage in cross-border activities by guaranteeing insurance cover should accidents occur.
The scheme, among other things, provided the following: guarantee for fair and prompt payment of compensation to victims of cross-border motor accident caused by visiting motorists from member states of ECOWAS, means by which visiting motorists can meet their potential legal obligations which may arise from accidents caused when traveling within the sub-region.
The Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Shippers Authority, Benonita Bismarck, whose outfit is mandated to promote and advocate for trade facilitation measures, especially to bring ease and security to traders, highlighted some of the challenges of the ECOWAS Brown Card and asked for a concerted effort from all stakeholders to join and bring solutions to them.
In spite of the significant role the Brown Card plays in promoting regional trade, it has been faced with a number of challenges, such as delays in payment of compensation to victims of motor accidents, the prevalence of fake brown cards, and undue arrest and detention of foreign motorists involved in motor accidents along the sub-region. These challenges require the collective attention of all stakeholders.
Some solidarity messages were shared by institutions such as Ghana Insurers Association, Borderless Alliance, WAICA, Ghana Police MTTD, who were present at the event.
And for trade to flow, transport should flow. And for regional transport to flow, the ECOWAS Brown Card is a key asset which we urge you all.
3 of them have extended the invitation for me to join them, but I choose to be here in Ghana.
A new website and the ECOWAS Brown Card certificate with secured features were also introduced at the program.
Young people within the port environment are being encouraged to continue to stay and enjoy that business, and a lot more people around are also being encouraged to come into the port business, you know, so that we have fresh people in there and all of that. So if you're studying to be in the port business, you have been encouraged to do so. Now, the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority takes a critical attention, or pays a critical attention to encouraging young people to do that. They have engaged the national service persons, who are about 500 or so around the port industry, to continue to do their best so that they can thrive in that industry. That plus Ghana Oil Company says they are no longer Ghana Oil Company. So you don't have to say it the way I've said it. They are now GOIL Company Limited. All of that are next in other news.
The National Service Scheme is a nationwide program where graduates of tertiary institutions are randomly placed in organizations, public and private, and are required to work there a year as duty to the state. The Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority takes national service very seriously and seeks to equip personnel of every year group with the needed skills for their further development in their careers. The 2018-2019 National Service personnel of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority have been furnished with nuggets of wisdom by mentors in the 2019 Lifestyle Summit in Tema. The program, which centered on empowering the youth for the future generation, held interactive sessions where they were educated on career development, sexual health, and life skills. The service personnel were advised to tap into the numerous potentials of the maritime industry. Philippa Amanda Ama, president of the Port Ladies Association, asked the service personnel to be conscious in engaging in appropriate behavior for the corporate environment. She highlighted confidence, respect, hard work, and innovation as the traits worth embracing for carrying out their careers.
I don't want the comportment conversation to be about right or wrong. I want it to be about what message do I want to carry around. When I entered GPT, I was very young. What message did I want to carry around? I told myself that I want to be seen as somebody very well put together, very serious with my job, and every assignment that you will give me, I will discharge it to the best of my abilities.
Dr. Emmanuel Benin, a physician at the GPHA clinic, educated the personnel on illnesses prevalent in the modern generation, such as the cancers and STIs, and how to avoid them.
It's the second leading cancer in women after breast cancer. So it's quite common, okay, right? And it's one of the major causes of death among women worldwide. So a bit of research done show that about 12,000 diagnoses are made. 12,000, which is huge. And out of the 12,000, about 4,200 women die yearly. Every year, this number dies from cervical cancer.
GOIL Company Limited has met with members of the media in Accra to update the public on the status of the growing indigenous oil marketing company. Patrick Akoli, Managing Director and Group CEO of GOIL, recounted the challenges the company had encountered before its revolution in 2007. He said GOIL was on the verge of a collapse before management's decision to rebrand, renovate existing infrastructure, and re-strategize business models.
Our books were looking bad, our stations horrible. We couldn't get money to pay our debts as they fall due. So a new government came and they decided that instead of selling off GOIL, why don't you give them a plan?
The MD of GOIL emphasized that efforts to have the company listed on the stock exchange is the most prudent decision it has taken, which has kept the company financially astute. He advised other local companies to do all that is possible to get listed on the stock exchange to instill discipline and continuity in their companies.
I must say, since then, it's been quite an interesting story. I must encourage other companies to come and get listed on the stock exchange. At least it gives you a performance guidance.
He stated that currently GOIL is the benchmark for oil marketing companies in Ghana and now positioning themselves to venture into oil exploration with its 5% stake in ExxonMobil.
We took a decision in GOIL that for this thing to succeed, GOIL must perform well. GOIL must become the benchmark. Otherwise, the economy and our people will suffer. We want to play our role as a dominant local company, ready to branch off to other West African sub-regions, ready to go vertical. You are already aware, it's a story known, that we've taken the 5% share of local content one from the ExxonMobil.
Patrick Akoli, MD of GOIL, advised that it is wise for potential shareholders to invest in the company because it has a bright future and they would reap grossly.
GOIL, if you look at our books, we have invested so much in assets. Yes, the returns, the ratios may not be as high as shareholders may want today, but it's a company to invest in today. When share prices are low, that is the time you invest, you buy. If you are sure that the company has a future.
Alex Axu, Chief Operating Officer of GOIL, revealed that collaborations with banks to evolve the nature of transactions at GOIL stations to electronic from cash transactions to bring ease and speed to the customer.
We are working very, very hard to ensure that people can now authoritatively use their cards, they can use their debit cards, they can use their credit cards at our service stations, and it will talk to our system, and then they don't have any problem.
He disclosed that GOIL, with Ivorian partner SMP, are entering into a partnership to enter into road construction, producing the highest quality of bitumen to give Ghanaian roads a major facelift.
It's completely different from the normal bitumen that we have. So that's the standard we want to bring to the nation. And so we are working very, very hard on it. It's good, like I said, it's going to take us about 18 months to fully complete. And we are doing that with La Côte d'Ivoire. It's a joint venture. We have 60%, La Côte d'Ivoire has 40%, SMB has 40%, and therefore we are working hard to bring this thing into being, and it will be a game changer.
Meanwhile, Kweku Ajimandua, Executive Director of the Association of Oil Marketing Companies, has praised GOIL for its strides to stay atop the oil marketing business and urged other state-owned enterprises to follow the model of GOIL.
Prudent management, the leadership is so up to scratch. And I witnessed, I think that was one of the meetings where they are trying to look at the pricing, and you won't believe it, the kind of spectrum of people sitting down making a decision.
He commended the management of GOIL's approach in arriving at corporate policy decisions.
So congratulations to the team at GOIL, Mr. Adziu there, and also the dynamic MD, Mr. Patrick Akoli. When we come back from the break, security at the ports next.
Here's innovation from GOIL that takes you further. New GOIL Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes have been expertly crafted with the latest in liquid engineering technology, highly advanced for modern engines, prolongs oil change intervals, save you fuel, clean, protect, and enhance engine performance. The way engines work has become complex, and GOIL has innovated to stay ahead. Expertly crafted lubricants that work excellently with all petrol and diesel engines of today. New GOIL Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Innovation that takes you further. GOIL. Good energy.
Dealing with the lack of information, ladies and gentlemen, since we are in a digitized age, there's usually a lack of, when you brought in a container, you don't really know the status of the container in the clearance process. A mobile application has been developed that will enable importers check the status of their consignment and also the import duty payable online. So this application is available online. It is called Ghana Trade Hub.
Dear valued client, the Ghana Trade Hub mobile app is now live to make it easy to track your consignment and know the estimated duty payable for both general goods and used vehicles. We are pleased to inform you that the Ghana Trade Hub mobile app is available for download on Google Play Store for Android users and the App Store for Apple users. This is the best opportunity for all importers and exporters to know the duty payable on every good under transaction. You can reach the team for inquiries and support by calling +233 242 435 663. Send an email to support@ghanastradinghub.com. To remain updated, kindly follow progress on the following platforms: www.facebook.com/Ghana Trade Hub, www.twitter.com/Ghana Trade Hub, and ghlinkedin.com/in/Ghana Trade Hub. Importers and exporters can download the official Ghana Single Window mobile app, which allows you to track your consignment conveniently and also allows you to obtain your estimated duty for general goods and used vehicles. Please spread the message to everyone importing or exporting. The Ghana Trading Hub mobile app is now live. Download and never be cheated. This is powered by the Smart Ports project under the auspices of the Government of Ghana and the Ghana Revenue Authority. Smart Port, improving Ghana's ease of doing business.
Utiliser les ports de Tema et de Takoradi, c'est avoir un traitement rapide et sécurisé de vos marchandises diverses en conteneurs, en sac ou en vrac, ainsi que tous vos véhicules en transit. Le Ghana a construit un parking bien pavé pour tous les véhicules en transit. Une nouvelle gare frigorifique pour le stockage de la marchandise congelée en transit. Avec un nouveau centre de traitement de données construit et la mise en œuvre efficace d'un guichet unique national qui permet aux données d'être accessibles par tous les intervenants, le traitement des dossiers dans les ports du Ghana est maintenant efficace et plus efficient. Utiliser les ports du Ghana, c'est profiter des systèmes de portes électroniques et d'exploitation des terminaux ainsi que de la réservation des navires en ligne, entraînant ainsi un parc de camions fiable pour un acheminement de vos marchandises dans les brefs délais avec un suivi satellitaire jusqu'à nos frontières. Les femmes, à vous les honneurs. Les ports de Tema et de Takoradi célèbrent la femme. Que les bienfaits de cette célébration apportent plus de bénédictions.
Welcome back to Ion Port, and at 6:45 we'll start taking your calls. The numbers to call 0302948901, 0302948901. The number that you can WhatsApp on is 020-866-3161. Now, security at the port. A lot of people will come to our offices and start asking, somebody has duped me. Somebody says I should give him money, he's going to clear my goods for me. I can't find the fellow again. Somebody will say, I attempted to stow away, I have been arrested. What's my punishment? Why are they punishing me? Somebody will hear piracy on the seas and start shaking that the country is in turmoil. All of these things are matters of security concern around the ports and harbors industry. Tonight, my guest, the first one, far right, is Commodore J.O. Kunto. Commodore, I don't know why I want to bring W in the middle of your...
You want to call me Williams?
Williams. It wouldn't be a bad idea. He's the flag officer commanding Eastern Naval Command, the naval base in Tema, and also Chief Superintendent Joseph Nchuya is a Commander Marine Ports, Railways, and Tema. Commander Bibi, I'll start with you. Ports, Marine, and Railways. What are you commanding?
Right, thank you very much. You know, first we used to be ports and railways, and that is where we used to be known for a long time. And from 2008 onwards, when the Ghana Fine Oil and Gas, there was a need to see how we can protect all those things together with our senior brothers Navy. So they formed a technical committee to draw a security master plan for the oil and gas industry. And as part of the recommendations, Marine Police was recommended to be established so that they can also play a role in the maintenance of law and order, and then also our functions as investigation and then crime prevention. Okay. So, but you know already that the act, the Police Service Act gives us certain functions as internal security management for police, and then we do law and order. We also maintain, we investigate, and we prevent crime. Okay. So when the Marine was established in 2013 by CI 76, okay. Section 1H, they decided to add Marine Police to the railways and ports, okay. and making it one unit in the police service.
What difference was that supposed to make?
Yes, you know, I've told you that it used to be port and railways.
Yes, yes. And when now, the Marine was added by the
yes,
CI.
Yes, so that it can become one unit, not fragmented.
Was the Marine operating separately?
No.
It wasn't there at all?
No, no.
Okay, so why did it?
Yes, so it has to be one for operational purposes, so that the Marine Police will be overseeing the sea. The port police will be overseeing the port infrastructure. Okay. And the railways will be overseeing the railway infrastructure in the port. Yes.
Okay, so then you were not overseeing the waters. Does the Marine now give you that ability to oversee the waters?
Yes, to go.
So you go on the waters?
Yes, because I've told you that police is for internal peace. Yeah. Yes. And once you go within the port, and the marine environment up to 12 nautical miles is part of Ghana. Okay. So the Marine Police will have the mandate also to police our territorial waters for Ghana. Okay. Yes.
Maybe Commodore, I would bring you in for your area before I throw another question too, because I would also love to know the relationship between the marine aspect of Commander Bibius and that of the Navy, since that also meeting, all of you are meeting on the waters. But the Navy within the port industry, what's your role?
Maybe before I answer your question, let me say good evening to your cherished viewers, and thanks for having me. Okay. And also let me take this opportunity to let your viewers know that the Ghana Navy is celebrating its 60 years anniversary. Yeah. It's actually starting July, just next month.
I've seen the beautiful decorations that you have around there.
Right. So
things are going well.
So, yes. So, on behalf of the Chief of Naval Staff and the entire naval fraternity, I want to tell your cherished viewers that that is what is going to happen, and they should
look out for more activities.
Yes, and support us. Normally, you know, our activities are out there at sea, and the public, they don't see it very much. But this time we are getting closer to them and let them know what we do. Okay. Now back to your question.
Before then, I'm interested in that. So what are some of the activities that you are going to bring closer to the public you want to share?
Right. Quickly, we are launching, the official launch is in next month, 26th July. Okay. And we're going to have International Maritime Defense Exposure, which is bringing all security couples in the sub-region to attend. There will be route march, regatta, parade, and then the Memorial Day, which will be on the 14th of September.
Okay, the public is invited to witness?
The public is invited to witness almost all of these things.
Good.
Yes.
Okay.
A history of the Ghana Navy book is also going to be launched. So it is an elaborate program
that you have.
which starts from July till October.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Now your role.
Right. The Ghana Navy, as you know, like I said, was established in 1959. So we are quite old. If we were to be a human being, yes, we should be going on retirement now.
But your job has just begun.
Yes, yes. The job has just begun, and it's getting very, very interesting, especially the moment we are in now.
Okay.
Let me just give you a gist. Now there is something coming up. All of a sudden, people are getting aware of the blue economy.
Okay. Yeah.
The blue economy. Everybody is talking about the blue economy, which is the sustainable use of the marine resources, while still preserving it for future generations.
Okay.
We don't want any galamsey at sea, where we shall destroy all the resources, and then those next generation will be in problem. So there is a real drive to the sea now, where nations are exploiting the sea for their benefit.
Okay, but again, on the galamsey bit, how do people get to exploit the sea as they are exploiting the land with the galamsey that we know? What sort of galamsey is can possibly take place on the seas?
Very, very well. Something like fishing.
Okay.
Illegal fishing.
Okay.
Unregulated fishing. And then drug trafficking.
Okay.
There are so many things. All those things you can think of land, they are happening at sea.
I see.
They are happening there, and you need a navy as the law enforcement, the armed law enforcement agency to enforce these laws.
Okay.
So there's a whole lot of things happening.
Okay.
We used to be something we refer to as sea blindness, where we couldn't see much. Like Mr. Babil said, we have the territorial C12, the contiguous zone 24 nautical miles, and then the EZ 200 nautical miles. But here we are, every activity was just limited to the port and the anchorage area. We couldn't see very far what was happening there. So there is a huge drive to make sure that at least we are not completely sea blind. Maybe we may be a little bit foggy, but we should be able to see
go
further. And we are applying all sort of means, both platform in terms of ships, both electronic and surveillance means, to make sure that we are able to policy the sea.
Okay. And what are some of the, we talked about some of the sea crimes, for instance, and you mentioned clearly the drug trafficking and all of that. What are some of the other ones? Because quite recently, I think 2018 thereabout, we heard of the piracy on the seas. What are some of the challenges your outfit is encountering in securing our waters?
Right. What we are referring to as piracy, which we will call maybe just a hijack.
Okay.
Yes, hijack, sea robbery, petty theft within the anchorage area. Yes.
What's the difference? Piracy and hijacking on the seas?
Basically, it's a matter of terminology.
Okay.
We would say that piracy takes place far out there at sea. But those within the anchorages, the territorial waters, that is just hijacking or sea robbery.
Okay.
Sea robbery. Okay. Yes. These are some of the challenges which are coming up.
Okay. And how are you dealing with them? Because I know, and I'm sure that as soon as we start airing the international news, almost every week we have one hijack or piracy attack somewhere around Nigeria, Benin, sometimes Abidjan, Lomé, except Ghana. And I have to be frank, we've never, apart from what happened last year, Ghana, we don't get these things.
Right.
How are you tackling that issue?
Yes. Thank God it has not really become an epidemic in our waters.
Compared to other
areas. But we are showing presence out there at sea, making sure that we have vessels which are on patrols. And then, like I said, we have electronic surveillance systems at our maritime operation centers, which are able to give us a lot of information as to what is going out there. Okay. And then there's a lot of collaboration with our other stakeholders, like the Marine Police, okay, and then neighboring countries. We are cooperating a lot with our neighboring countries. For instance, the Gulf of Guinea area has been divided into maritime zones, yeah, so that we can easily share information as to what is going on. Not to bore you too much, if anything happens in Togo, yeah, in Lomé, as you know, Lomé, yeah, is so close to Aflao, yeah, so immediately a thing happens in Lomé, it enters Ghana. Ghana. So there is a lot of collaboration between the two navies. We share information as to what is happening, what has happened there, what is leading into our waters.
That's even why I wanted to know what your outfit is doing so different that is helping you to make our waters very secured and different. Because if these kind of hijacks are happening just around Benin and Nigeria, one would assume that it's very close to us. Mm-hmm. Yet our anchorage is almost the safest within this whole region, right, to the extent that a lot of vessels from other countries, Nigeria and co, if they want to do even bunkering, they come to our anchorage. If, right, they want to stay and relax before they move, they come to our anchorage. Right. What's the Navy in Ghana doing different? Is it because you have commander's outfit attached to your outfit? Or what's making it so difficult for such sea crime activities to take place on our waters?
Right.
Which you can enforce, you can continue to improve.
Yes, I would not like the Navy to take all the credit alone. First of all, you have Ghana Ports and Harbour Authority, the security, yeah, team. So they are the lead team which takes care of security within the port and then at the anchorage. And then we have a joint patrol team, okay, which is made up of port security, Marine Police, the Navy, National Security, going out there for patrols. Okay. Then the Navy, apart from all these things, we have our own strategy, separate from what the civilian agencies are doing to monitor the...
so there's a lot of force out there.
There is.
That's impressive. But Commander Bibiu, sorry, Commander, you wanted to say something?
I was going to say that the Ghana Maritime Authority, yeah, has also come up with some surveillance systems, okay, which they share with the Navy. Okay. So anything going out there, they see it, a report to the Navy. We have vessels which will go out there and then make sure that we deal with it.
Okay. Commander Bibiu, your outfit, you combine, because you have the Marine Police now, you combine a bit of the waters, yeah, and then the land you are in control. Almost the investigations and the crime activities around the land space, around the port, it comes to your outfit. Yeah. One of the commonest we are beginning to see is the issue of stowaway. Yeah. I think this week or so I was in your office and there was a gentleman who said he just takes delight in stowing away, and then when he's caught, he's jailed and he still wants to try again. Yeah. Mm-hmm. How are you dealing with those crimes?
Yes, thank you. The stowaway crimes are crimes that people actually take delight in doing that. And
why is that?
Yeah, it's an old age profession, so to speak. Why people do that, and they do it in both our ports, okay, Tema and Takoradi, and sometimes they do it in the neighboring countries. Okay. Some of them has a way of getting to the vessels, and these days, because of the ISPS code and all that, it is becoming difficult for them to go through. Mm. But still, they try. Like the guy you saw in my office. First, he's somebody who has a physical challenge. Yeah. Mm. He uses crutches. Yeah. But in his first attempt, when he was arrested, he was fine. The second attempt, we made a proposition to the judge that he is not a first offender. So at that time, he was also sentenced
to 8 months.
Yes, imprisonment. On his return, only to be brought in my office last week again.
Actually, was this on Friday, right?
Yes, Friday, yes. That he has been, this time, he managed to reach Namibia. And he was happy to say that he joined 3 flights before coming to Ghana.
Before he was returned. He went to South Africa.
You know what he said? He said he went to Joburg. He went to
He's
Joburg,
happy to say that the flight took him to Joburg before
from there he went to Nairobi before coming here.
Back
so
to Ghana.
yes, so together with you, we're interviewing him and see what is his motivation. But for him, he says that some of his men have succeeded in going through the Sowe means, so he thinks that he can go through. In fact, Friday we'll process him for court, but unfortunately, when we finish with his court processes, the court has closed. So Monday,
is stowaway a crime?
Yes, it's a crime.
What sort of crime is this?
No, it's against the laws of country. You don't, if you want to travel, there are variable means that you have to go through and travel.
Okay.
So if you go by unauthorized means, by hiding yourself in a vessel or in a container to be exported from one country to another country without adequate documentation, it's a crime.
You've committed crime.
Yes. Unfortunately, the only key factor is that the punishment ascribed.
I was just coming to that.
Ascribed to them. People who commit such offenses is very minimal.
Which is the problem?
No, can't say, because unless the law is changed, it's a misdemeanor.
Okay.
And the judges cannot go beyond punishment.
So stowaway is a misdemeanor?
Yes, a
really?
misdemeanor.
I see.
It's a misdemeanor.
That's why you give them something small and they come back.
Yes.
So it's not deterrent enough.
Yeah. Unless, I think the Attorney General's Department are working on certain crimes, like Commodore said. Now they see we are all shifting towards blue economy and the SDG 14. So certain offenses that was being committed at the sea within the ocean are being reviewed.
Okay.
So that as the laws are, the new ones are promulgated, I think they will factor all those offenses into it, so that it will serve as a deterrent for other people.
But how is your outfit liaising with the AG's office in this regard, and how speedily are we seeing something come out of this? Because, Commander, to be honest with you, now I've seen a lot of these stowaways, and your outfit would definitely be overwhelmed if something is not urgently done to this.
Yes.
And the that the punishments are not deterrent. These people are taken in. Just the next week, you see them back. And they talk with joy to say that, I got this person,
for the last time, someone even reached France.
Yes, this one, he said he was going to UK. Yeah. And then when the vessel arrived in Namibia, the Windhoek port is very beautiful. So he thought he had arrived in UK. They brought him back. But it means that they just take delight in doing this, because after all, you just come and you get some 2 lashes. Why don't we push the AG's office to get something stringent in place?
Not necessarily push. I know, like he said, the maritime space is also governed by the Ghana Maritime Authority, and they are working seriously with the Attorney General's Department on some of these issues. Okay. You know, because of that, currently a lot of acts are being promulgated to all in a bit of secure and giving safety of our ocean, so that people who are coming in to exploit or to partner Ghana to make use of the blue economy can work and function well. Because without adequate and proper laws in place, people will take advantage of it and make sure that they overuse your resources to their advantage. Yeah. Like you said, you asked about safety and security of our anchorage or at our ports, why all the people are coming here to have their rest period or to bunker here. Yes, it's because of the presence of our security agencies in our ocean. Okay. So, and this one must also be backed by laws. Okay. So that is why, in Attorney General's view, when Ghana decided to go beyond to make use of this blue economy, then all agencies or all departments that fashion appropriate laws for it to be work, so that people can benefit from the investment that they do, then they will bring it to bear. Yes. So Attorney General is seriously working on it. And don't we say we should push them. They are ready, because when the incidents of carjacking came, we don't, police as an investigative body don't work in isolation. We work in consonance with Attorney General, because at the end of the day, the prosecution will be done by the Attorney General because of the nature of the offense. So in all our dealings in terms of investigation, we involve them, and the dockets will be prepared and also hand over to them. So they got to know the type of offenses that is happening in our port and our sea, so that they can also work on it for us.
Commodore,
yes.
Is your outfit bothered by this stowaway in any way at all? Because I have seen, and I've also heard a couple of stories around the fact that sometimes when the crew on the vessels, even they see some of these people on board the vessel, sometimes they even try killing them, or they fly them into the seas and all of that.
Yes.
Are you bothered by this?
Yes, sure, we are, especially like what you've just said, for the safety of the stowawayers, for their own safety. Yeah. Most of the time we want to save them. They, like he said, misdemeanor, they don't really come in to commit crime, and looking at it, they are not very much different from those crossing the Libyan borders and going.
By road.
Yes, yes. But in this particular one, because of their own safety, hiding on board a vessel in an awkward place for months. Yeah. With
some
very
can be
little
in a very
food.
hot container for days without food.
Yes. And most of the time, the ship's crew are very, very wicked. They can even kill them at sea without anybody noticing. So for their own safety, we are very much concerned, and we don't encourage it at all.
Commander, the issues of people being duped around the port business, to what extent have you been confronted by some of these?
Thank you very much. It's almost becoming a daily occurrence. You know, people are using the cyberspace to advertise for cars and all that, and also to say that they are going to be, there's a, what do you call it, auction at the port. I remember one day you came to me and I cautioned them that in the port itself, we don't do auction there. And we don't sell cars too at the port. The cars are sold at the car park. But many people are duped in that circumstances. People can lure people into the port environment, show them cars thinking that they are...
it belongs to them and they are selling
them. They get the money and they run away. Recently, we had a couple of cases of them. And we work in collaboration with your port security manager, because sometimes we have to go to the extent of your ops room to get, you have some CCTV to see if you can get the faces of the people, but it looks like they are perfect in those actions. Sometimes they take them to the place that the CCTV will not cover.
But the police should be on top, more higher than these people.
Yes, the underlying factor, police is there cautioning, patrolling. But when people are doing business, they do it in any place. Sometimes they can bring them as far as a long room to show them that let's get the money at this place. They will give you a key, you go back to pick your car, and another person has taken the car away.
I see. With your money.
With your money, and you become frustrated. So, and people also don't, we have a problem in our country where people don't take facial
recognition
of people. And when he comes and you ask him sometimes to describe, that it becomes a problem. And you are parting with so much money, sometimes over 50,000, sometimes 75,000, sometimes 23,000
to buy a car.
And what I also observe is that mostly the people give them about 2/3 of the price. So if you know the market value of the car,
you should know that it's too cheap to be.
It's too cheap to be, and that the person has different motives altogether. But our people, we work better when there's adequate information. You see, when you reported such a case to us, we will expect you to give us some description. Some people, nowadays, it's easy, when we are even paying money, we can take selfie with the person, and it can help in our investigation. But that notwithstanding, majority of those cases, we have been able to arrest them and take them to court.
Oh, you have?
Oh, yes.
I see.
You remember some of them, there was RAV4, 2015 model RAV4 blue.
Okay.
Yes, the people are in the court now.
Okay.
There's one black in front of our offices, and that one we are trying to get the facial impression of even though we have some from the CCTV, it's not clear, but it's still there. The first case is in court. The second one, we have gone part of it in court, and the court has given us some time to look for the people so that we can proceed with the substantive case. So
and I hope this one, there's enough deterrent punishment for it.
Oh, yes.
If they're found culpable.
One is stealing, and
yes.
That's they are second-degree felony offenses, and the punishment is
okay.
enough, yeah.
Because I've had the cause to bring quite a number of people to your office. I've brought doctors to your office. I've brought journalists to your office. Even folks working with the Ghana Revenue Authority in your office, who have been duped by 250.
For one car,
there was one was about 50,000.
RAV4. They use it to dupe about 4 or 5 people.
Wow. And I'm told that the one who duped the doctor, for instance, one of the gentlemen was arrested and was sent to Tesano police station. But what I was also hearing was that your folks at the police station there were slowing down, and this fellow, not much has been heard about this case.
See, when he was arrested to Tesano, maybe he was arrested there on different offenses.
No, on the same one, because somebody managed to grab him.
Just give you an example. If an explanation, yes, instant. So if it's the same offense, the doctor, he reported to our place, he should quickly give us the information so that we will send messages to Tesano, so that immediately they finish with their investigation, they will hand it over, because that's what we do. Anytime there's an offense committed in Tema, and another person commit the same offense even in Kumasi, yes, we send messages around. So when the person is arrested, they circulate to all the police department and institution units, so that if the person is one you are looking for, you go for him and also come and continue with your investigation.
Okay, so this one too, they had a challenge that another person has lodged a similar complaint at Kolebu. For the same person. And I know that the doctor had also come to your office. So there are about 3 stations looking for one fellow. You know, and I think because of that, the police, the coordination among the stations are not really working well.
No, all the coordinations and for police circles, if you report a different person report a case at Tesano and one at Kolebu, if the doctor who came to our place once you get the information, you should just quickly tell us. We will go to the station that is investigating and get him. Yes. So once there are different instances at different places, the people who have suffered those kind of, who have been victim of those kind of models should also come forward. Yes, because they should be interested. Your money has been taken by a fraudster. So you should be interested in monitoring it, so that as soon as you get that information, you will let us also know, then we'll go. Aside that, in our own circles, like as I told you, the messages will be sent around and we'll be looking for them. But the owners should also be, because to work effectively, we also rely on information.
From the owners. When we come back from the break, Commander, we will talk about your men on the road, on the corridor, the issue of extortion from police officers who are on the road and all of that, and how we can encourage or facilitate trade among our neighboring countries when we come back from the break. And I should let you also know that you can join the conversation if you're interested. Security in that area around the port, 030-294-8901. That's the number to call, 030-294-8901. If you want to WhatsApp, 020-866-3161. You can send us a WhatsApp when we come back. We'll also talk about theft if we are still encountering theft around the port.
Here's innovation from GOIL that takes you further. New GOIL Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes have been expertly crafted with the latest in liquid engineering technology, highly advanced for modern engines, prolongs oil change intervals, save you fuel, clean, protect and enhance engine performance. The way engines work has become complex, and GOIL has innovated to stay ahead. Expertly crafted lubricants that work excellently with all petrol and diesel engines of today. New GOIL Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Innovation that takes you further. GOIL. Good energy.
Welcome back from the break. Still watching Eye on Port, and the issue that we are discussing is security around the port industry. Then we have Commodore J. Okontor, who is the flag officer commanding Eastern Naval Base, or Naval Command at the Naval Base in Tema. Also Chief Superintendent Joseph Entry Abebio, Commander Marine Port Railways at Tema. And we've talked about piracy, we've talked about fraud and all of that around the ports. If you are interested, you can find out a lot more. We are going to talk about the corridors. A lot of concerns have come from our transit truck drivers that, look, you are driving, sending your goods to Burkina Faso, Mali, or Niger, and then the police officers will stop you. Bring your so-and-so, bring your so-and-so. And then instead of taking those documents, they also want you to part with some small kwacha. How true?
What is kwacha?
Kwacha. Commander, kudi, money, okay. You know? So how true is this, and has this come to your notice, and to what extent are you dealing with this?
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, these issues had been brought to our attention for several times, and then the police administration has actually worked with the port, Ghana Port Authority, their head office, all in a bit of eliminating this kind of things. If you remember, all the IGPs have collaborated properly with the port authority in attempt to forestall this one. And the port authority together have met with all the regional commanders along the corridor in order to forestall this kind of behavior. The last time that we went through the corridor, we were able to caution our men as to the need for transit goods to go to their destination without any hindrance and without any stoppages. And there have been several works with the current police administration to train our personnel. All the MT2 personnel have been taken through training, and those who qualify are the ones who are there. So I'm sure these days you don't hear those kind of complaints too much. But at the regional commanders conference and all that, the police administration have told them, especially from Accra through Kumasi to Techiman, and if you go to Wa, and when we are going to Tamale Borga Road, to all of them have been cautioned not to be doing that. But it's a human institution, so, and you know our duties also rotate. Our duties also rotate. So sometimes some of the people who have been brought, trained and known the need to not to interfere with the transit trade, some of them can, when they come to duty, they can try to prevent, hinder those kind of passages. And the police administration is still on them because we are always retraining the people on that. The administration has also removed most of the barriers. Most of the barriers on the corridors. If you take from Tema, we used to have a corridor, a barrier at Dobro, and you can bear me out that it has been removed a long time ago. We only have one at when we are going to what do you call it? Getting to Agugu area, the highway.
Ghana
we have
Police
one
Service.
there. Then you will
In
not
recent
have another
times,
until you are going
concerns
to
the trade has been lamented by the
area.
transit drivers.
Offenso will have another one. So we have reduced the number of barriers on our road.
Wait, have you reduced
Oh
it?
yes, several.
Because
several.
the last time, and
No,
you
wait. The ones that we know, I've told you that, you know, when you are going through the corridor on daytime, the barriers are due. In police management, some of the areas who are armed robbery prone. So in the night, we institute snap checks along the road, especially from Kintampo to Tamale. You know, it's a long stretch of road, and there are a lot of robbery activities on that corridor. So in that stretch, you will have a lot of stoppages. When you are going to Takoradi, the Cape Coast Road, in the night, you will have a lot of stoppages. But their presence there is for prevention of crime and not for extorting of money. That is what we
I have a question for you, but let me just pick a couple of calls that are on the line at the moment. Romeo is calling from Jolu. Romeo, if you can hear me, good evening. Okay, I think he's gone off. But see, the last time we counted, and the Ports and Harbours Authority, I mean, we had about 50, over 50, 54 checkpoints.
Yeah, that was in the night.
Yes, it actually was day and night. Okay. And I remember that together with you, and then IG was a commander for Marine, commissioner for Marine. We met then IGP Al Hassan, and we informed him of this, and we saw the video and all of that. And we said that the numbers were too much. At some point, what IG said was that the men are protecting the road. However, the warning is that they should not stop the transit trucks at all, because they are not custom officers and they don't know anything about the document. So why have they returned to that kind of practice where they stop the transit trucks?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And then asking for documents, because they don't, they have no clue when it comes to these documents.
Yes, that's what I told you. The ones that you had, that was about 2013.
Not to rudely interject, but let me pick the gentleman on the road. Romeo, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah. So,
hello, Romeo.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please go
So when the current IGP also took over, because he's privy to all those things, that's why I'm saying that it started from the IGP Al Hassan's time. So he reduced most of the barriers in the daytime. He reduced most of the barriers in the daytime, and also cautioned the personnel. That's why I said, so when current IGP took over, he also went further in all the MTTDs in the country. They have to do, what do you call it, retraining for them. And those who did not qualify were removed from the MTTD, or in a bit with that information that he has to make them work perfect.
Let me pick Daniel from Asham, and I'll come back to you. Daniel. Hello, Daniel.
Hello?
Yes, Daniel.
Yes.
I can hear you. Please go ahead.
The program you're on is a fine program, and I'm contributing. We should express it more for us to understand, especially for the policemen.
Sorry, Daniel, can you speak up, because I can hardly hear you?
We want our explanation, especially for the traffic trucks.
Okay.
More or less, police have stopped you, check. Meanwhile, we don't know, and we thought they also don't know. Only the custom people who can check and then give us the word that everything is clear.
Okay.
But they can stop you here. The next barrier they stop you. We just want everything to be clear for us.
Okay.
So that we are also moving, we go, and we are also free.
Very noted. Commander, still on the matter. Yes.
Police, we don't deal with transit goods. So we don't have a duty to stop the transit car and inspect any document about it. We only come in when maybe the vehicle or the truck has committed an offense, like traffic offense. That one, then police can come in to work on it. But or when the vehicle has been also been attacked. You remember one day the armed robbers attacked a transit vehicle.
It happens a lot.
And police goes in to do the investigation. And in case of the investigation, the car and the goods has to be impounded and do further investigation before they can. But even this one, we do it as fast as possible so that we will not interfere with the transit of the goods.
Let me take Emmanuel from Afienya, and then we'll come back to you. Emmanuel.
Hello.
Yes, Emmanuel.
Yeah, I'm on the line. Oh, good evening.
Hello, Emmanuel. I can hear you, but speak up.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I'd like to acknowledge all the officials there, especially bandits.
Kindly reduce the volume on your set and speak up, Emmanuel.
Okay. What I was trying to say, Accra, Saturday, about the 9 policemen who at times they used to do to us.
Let me find out the technical producers. Frank, can we get the volume up, because we can hardly hear them? Yeah. Okay.
Can we hear me?
Yes, Emmanuel, but speak up, please.
Yeah. On Accra Takrady Road. Hello.
Accra Takrady Road. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
the night policemen, at times, what they used to do on the road in the night is very, very, very offensive.
Okay.
When they stop, they don't stop a car at a time. They stop the car just a minute. They don't know who to serve. Because if it's on the barrier in the night, you need to check the car one after the other. And the way they mount the barrier at where the portal is. And this was very narrow for the big truck to even exit the way to upper winning. So I'm appealing to my students to please check on that type of thing. Thank you very much. And I greet Bandit.
Okay. Accra Takoradi Road, the way they mount the barriers are becoming too much, and I think it's the usual the challenge.
Yeah.
But can we, Jones, can we please have it sorted out so that we can hear it from here? The difficulty in hearing is
you know, some of the Snapchats that we mount it based on information, based on intelligence, you know, and also based on the frequency of occurrences at that places. Some of the areas, there are a lot of incidences that happen there. There are some of the places too, there are a lot of robbery that goes on there. So when, after several reportage, and police has investigated and see that this is what happens at this corridor, that is where we will put the barrier there in order to forestall sanity on that particular stretch of the road. So it's not it's not of vacuum that we put barriers at places, but we can also vary the places.
Okay.
Because when we we can get
Commander, one of the issues that was raised, and I'll take Commodore's view on this after your comment. I recall that around about 3 or 4 years ago, when we met all the regional commanders in Kumasi, one of the comments that I heard from people actually at the time was that as for the barriers, they are not going to take them off because they feel that they need to protect lives and property on the road. However, what we all agreed was that do not stop the truck drivers. Or if you stop them, you are not inspecting or you are not extorting the money, you are not collecting bribes from them. I think that's where the major problem is, the extortion and the harassment. And so when they don't pay, then you say, okay, park here. The man is taking already about 1 week to get to Burkina Faso. You let the person park for another 1 week, and then the goods delay, and then they find our ports not attractive.
Yes, I think we have talked about this one, and I've repeated it here, that is not their business to do it. But when they stop, like during that time, we make provision for constant communication between the port authority and the police administration, so that quickly, whenever those are men go beyond what they are supposed to do, then the commanders can quickly go in and address the challenge. And I still think that we still have that kind of communication in place to forestall those kind of challenges that we are having.
Let me get Emmanuel on. Emmanuel from Nungwa, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, please.
Hello, Emmanuel.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, Emmanuel.
I want to contribute to the program, please.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, please, I want to ask Commander.
Yes.
I want to ask the Commander.
Yes.
There was from Winneba to Port Road. There was a barrier there. Any time I get to that place, the police there, as a Winneba university, and I start them. So I use the road every day. They will be there and they will just be taking money. They don't check the car that I'm using. When you get there, all what they ask for money, you give them money and you pass. I don't know. So what are they purposely there for? I need to check. Well, because they don't ask for anything. Whatever they ask is for the money, and they will just leave you. Whether you are carrying ammunition or whatever it is, illegally, they don't even look at inside your car.
Okay. Point well made, Emmanuel.
Yes, tell Emmanuel that once he's a citizen, he hasn't committed a no offense, and he's not working for them. So anytime they demand money, he should refuse giving them money. He works at he says he's a student at Winneba. The Winneba has a district commander there. There are a lot of police institutions in the Winneba, and that is why we encourage personnel who are being affected by this kind of extortion from police to report to the commanders of the various departments. So once I don't know whether it's in Northern Campus or the Southern Campus, the district command is within the in between the two campus, and he can go there. He can reach out there.
Okay.
Myself, I will talk to the district commander so that his men that he deployed them on that stretch of the road. He will
let me get you back to the blue economy area again. We just played a story on the ECOWAS brown card. It's one area that your men actually stop the drivers over because they want to inspect the insurance. And for the truck drivers going to Burkina or Mali or Niger, it's the ECOWAS brown card they need to show. Quite often, they come up to say that, your men come up to say that the brown cards are fake. Then there is, the drivers say, no, it's original. However, we are told that the brown card can only, the fakeness of it can only be detected by the UVR, the ultraviolet rays. Your men don't have that, but they're able to tell that it's fake. How?
Right.
Because you're supposed to have UVR to be able to...
Yes. I don't know about it, but still, like I've been telling you, I know the MTTD has had a lot of collaboration with the Borderless Alliance.
Okay.
And they have been educated more often on this one from the Borderless Alliance and also on the ECOWAS brand card. And I'm sure your program that you played, some of the MTT personnel were part of the people who were educated on that.
I saw a few there,
So constantly there's need for education, and constantly on our part as a police, there's need for us to tell our men as to their responsibility towards ECOWAS issues, because, like you said, if you don't have the requisite equipment to detect, you can't use your
eyes to say that.
Say it. Yes. So as we are educating our men not to do those things, continue, like I said about this university guy, the transit drivers and their importers to also to take their men through those forums, so that, because if you know you are doing the right thing,
you shouldn't part with any money.
Yes, and you should stand on what you believe in, so that if they decide to come in, definitely he has to take you to his commander for it to be addressed.
Okay. Yeah. Let me get to Emmanuel again. Another Emmanuel from Teshin is on the line. Ima. Hello, do we have him?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello, my brother, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. Please, I beg you. My name is Father Emmanuel.
Okay, go ahead.
I beg you. I want to ask you. We have problem on our roads from Tessin Tabibiano to Tessin Mobile. Our road was not good at all.
Okay.
And every Saturday, the Nwa police people came to our roads. They arrest our taxis.
Okay, Emmanuel.
Every Saturday, Nwa police people came to our road, then arrest us. When they took us to the station, they did pass us from 1.5 to 1 million.
I think we get you clear. So you want them to be able to fix the roads. The roads are not good, and also the police are not helping you. As much as possible, we want to dwell with the port one.
But so this one is simple. How do they arrest them? Do they arrest them for carrying excess number of persons, or they just look at the taxi and arrest them?
Okay.
I
think that's a legit
because he's saying that they bring them to the police station. So it means they might have committed some offense.
Commander, let me ask you something about the ports again. In the past, way in the past, I mean, for instance, before I joined the port, I used to hear a lot about pilfering, thievery, somebody's car party, those things. But now I don't hear. From your outfit, what can you say about that? How often do some of these information come to you?
Yes, we hardly receive complaints about pilfering at the port enclave, but outside the port, it does happen because it's a woman environment.
Okay.
So the port, the port has been fashioned out in such a way that these days it is not easy to get access to the port if you don't have a business doing there.
Yeah.
And all the security agencies that who matter are also in the port.
Yeah.
For instance, with the police, we are port doing physical security and also doing patrols.
Yeah.
The port security itself also doing physical security and also doing patrols.
Headed by a colonel.
Yes. So with all this, then we have the national security. Then our Navy too is always at the port, both the seaside and the water side, together with it. So it's
difficult to penetrate and commit such crimes.
And if you see the walls that has also been done, and the
CCTV cameras and all of that.
And you know, about 2 years ago, they also introduced handheld scanners.
Yeah.
And some even.
And then the biometric, before you can even enter the port, without the biometric, you can't get in.
So it has reduced that preference as much as possible. And now people who also don't have business to do.
Let me take Zenani from, sorry, Commander, I'll get back to you. Zenani from Zedama Saman, yes. Hello, Zenani.
Hello, please.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yeah, good evening, please.
Good evening.
I'm Zenani from Amas.
Yes, go ahead.
I beg of you, anyway, thank you so much for the opportunity and the sensitization that you making for it. There is this point that seems so dangerous that police officials have been standing, especially at night. When you're descending from Hajj Village, you're descending from Hajj Village, I'm talking of Kudika International Airport. When you're descending from Hajj Village, there is a road to the right.
Okay.
And that's very curved to there is a curve, the polo grounds over there, there's a curve.
Yeah.
That's where they normally stand at night. It's not only dangerous, but the way they're stopping the cars over there, it hasn't been the best.
Okay.
I don't know whether it's for your assignment that they are there.
Okay.
There are normally up to 3-4 guys over there on motorbikes.
Okay.
Not the normal police motorbikes that we know, but the local motorbikes that they've been riding.
Okay, point made.
Whoever is coming from the Shell roundabout there, coming with top speed, and whoever is turning from that point, then they will stop the person. So if care isn't taken, you the one behind, the tendency of you even hitting the very person that they stop is very high. And they've been there for quite some time now.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. I think your point is made. There's another one from Teddy that says, I want to understand why the police should arrest you in one local jurisdiction and try sending you to another jurisdiction, which I know the police is supposed to place you in custody at the locality itself. So do you arrest somebody within the port environment and then you take him somewhere? Is that...
Where is it?
Yeah, because it says...
multiple offense. Yeah, the one who committed multiple
offense.
I'm
sure that's what you wanted to get clarity on.
Yeah, maybe, like you said, when an incident happens, it depends on the person who has been affected and where he's very close by. If, like we talk about Tesano, if he's very close by, he can go to Tesano and report. Police can give him extra to bring it to where the offense has been committed. So, and when he committed an offense at a certain place, I also told you that they can send wireless message to other colleagues. So when you see him and arrest him at that place, you take him through initial police investigation, and you can send him to where the incident happened for him to.
Okay. And this one says that I would like to know if a police personnel should check for driver's license from a transit driver. Are you supposed to check the transit truck driver?
With driver's license, is police who is only mandated to check the driver's license.
Okay.
Yes. So.
Of transit truck drivers.
Driver.
Okay.
So
once you are driving.
Yes, you are driver, not whether transit or not, because you know that some of the transit trucks are also Ghanaian trucks.
Mm. Yes.
Yes. So if
it's transit bound, if it's Niger, Mali, Burkina bound.
Yes. One, if you are not a driver, you cannot drive a truck or a car. So he can check. If he wants to check, he can check to see whether you are a licensed driver to even drive the car. But that should be the end of it. He can look at it and see that you are a qualified driver and allow you to go. So police is mandated to check a license.
But Commander, won't that then contradict what IGP Al-Hassan did? Because
no.
if I can stop you to check your license, then you can't tell me not to stop the transit truck.
No, wait. I'm saying that he can check it. Sometimes before he gets to the barrier, or he looks at you and see maybe you are not a careful driver. So he can find out whether you are a careful driver. He says you cannot stop. If you stop and he's checking about transit good, the documentation, which he doesn't have knowledge of it, that is a different thing. But the driver
but for license, they can stop you to check.
Yes. So if he wants to do it, he can do it. But with all the educations that I'm talking about, with what the previous IGP said and the current IGP is repeating. So if you know, and it is known that the vehicle is a transit vehicle, then with the ECOWAS, the trade that we are, facilitation that we are doing, then there's no need for him to look at it. But when he is coming and he thinks that the way he's driving, he doesn't resemble a careful and conscious driver, he can check it.
Okay. Yeah. Let me go and pick some international port news, some of which are very interesting, and then we'll come back and wrap up on that one. International port news, plus the Bank of Ghana exchange rate and vessel schedules. The vessels that are expected in the port within this week, those that are also already at the anchorage that Commodore's people are controlling, and those also expected to come in this week. All are next on your screens.
Norway-based Ocean Yield and Aker Energy have once again extended the option for a long-term bareboat charter of the FPSO Dhirubhai 1. The previously agreed options are set to expire on May 30th, 2019. Therefore, the parties reached a Norway-based Ocean Yield and Aker Energy have once again extended the option for a long-term bareboat charter of the FPSO Dhirubhai 1. The previously agreed options are set to expire on May 30th, 2019. Therefore, the parties reached a deal to stretch the options by 3 months against an additional compensation. With this move, Aker Energy has until September 1st to decide whether it will execute a 15-year charter for the laid-up FPSO. Aker Energy is currently evaluating different opportunities for the unit at the Deepwater Tano Cape 3 Point block offshore Ghana, as there is uncertainty related to a contract for Dhirubhai 1 with Aker Energy. Ocean Yield is in parallel pursuing other employment opportunities for the FPSO. Energy infrastructure company AltaGas has reported that Ridley Island Propane Export Terminal, the first marine export facility for propane in Canada, has been officially opened. Located in Prince Rupert, British Columbia, the facility began introducing propane feedstock in mid-April. The first shipment departed the terminal on May 23, 2019, bound for Asia. Randy Crawford, AltaGas President and Chief Executive Officer, said the completion of what he calls a game-changing project and the shipment of the company's first cargo are historic milestone for AltaGas, adding that the company can offer producers a complete solution for their propane with Ripet now being operational. As explained, Ripet allows AltaGas to leverage the strength of its assets along the energy value chain in Western Canada, from gas gathering and processing to liquids handling, fractionation and exports, by attracting increasing volumes and enhancing throughput. The International Maritime Organization has agreed to reapproach its listing process for the SCCW Convention's white list. According to the South African Maritime Safety Authority, the IMO agreed to reapproach the process following discussions with SAMSA, other member states of the IMO and the organization during a meeting in London a week ago. According to Soban Tutilai, the CEO of the South African Maritime Safety Authority, discussions on the matter between the parties concerned came to a conclusion that the drawing up of the list of countries for dislisting from the STCW Convention white list earlier this year did not follow due process.
So welcome back to our and I think that we are done with the phone calls. We're going to wrap up with a few information that we need to let the public be aware. But Commander, this one says that all his documents were okay, but the police says that he hasn't done a maintenance job on his truck, and this is a transit truck driver. Can the police tell you that per the look of your car, your truck, you haven't done maintenance? Yeah, even when you have a DVLA
yes,
not expired.
I don't know where he met the police, but I know Accra, Takoradi, Kumasi, and I think Tamale, they have joint task force, police and DVLA. If you used to pass through motorway, you will see them. They use buses, minibus. So it's the DVLA who gives you the roadworthy certificate, and they are mandated to withdraw it when they look at it and think that it is not roadworthy any longer. It's given for a period of time, and maybe the time you went for the roadworthy certificate, the test, your vehicle was good, but by virtue of the road you apply or something, you may some of the things may deform. Even traffic indicator lights. If maybe you take your goods through certain roads and the light breaks, he can decide. So if it is part of the task force that inspected his vehicle, yes, they can stop him and tell him, and that they can also assess and give you new roadworthy certificate there with the technical officers. So this one, I don't know whether it was a task force or it was police alone that stopped him and were telling him that his truck was not roadworthy. Because before you can say that, there should be a technical collaboration. You get my point? There should be a technical person to determine that your car is not, even though if you see the car, you can know it. And don't forget that police, we also do our work based on suspicion. Yeah. Yes. So if you see it and it is indeed rickety, you can say it, because if the tire is worn out, you will know it and say that yes, it's worn out. But sometimes too, they have joint patrol with the road DVL people.
I was going to let you wrap up, but there's one interesting, the port environment, our truck drivers, we have variety of them. Somebody is asking a very interesting question. I know, I want you to take opportunity to educate them on something. The person says that he thinks that you can't take alcohol and drive, but you can smoke weed and drive. I want you to take opportunity to just let us know if that is, smoking weed in itself, is it not even
No, you see, the person
illegal?
Is making a mistake. Whether we alcohol or tramadol or something, the fact is, when you are not of sound mind, you cannot drive. Yeah. And all these things that you have in mind can affect the soundness of your mind. Yeah. And when it happens, that how do you drive? Okay. You will not be fit, and you'll be of unsound mind to drive.
So your men can stop them?
Oh yes, yes. Okay. That's why I'm saying that there are lots of things that goes beyond it. The person gets to the barrier. Assuming they say they shouldn't stop because they are not answering. And he looks at his face and he's even looking sleepy. He's looking sleepy. Why can't he stop him and ask him to rest before he can carry on? He smells alcohol. Why can't he stop him?
And now there is very interesting development. Yeah. Some of them smoke, they inhale the fuel, and they get high. Yes, yes, and they get very high. So you are saying that once it affects your mind, your faculty and your thinking. Yes.
All those things affect your vision too. Yeah. And they are at the road. I've told you that our key core function is maintenance of law and order, then property. Okay. So if the person is of unsound mind and by his behavior, he can affect other people by his careless driving, by his conduct.
You can
why should they allow him to go?
Good. I'll have Commodore give your last statement. Just talk to us about finally what you would want or you expect from the general public as far as your operations is concerned in protecting our waters around the port.
Right. Thank you. Navy is a very expensive business. Our ships equipment are quite expensive. So if you look at things in every nation, among the arsenals in the every nation, ships are the most expensive items. So we have to equip the Navy, especially now that we are all focusing on blue economy, oil exploration and exploitation, fisheries, all coming up. Okay. And so many other agencies are depending on us. National Petroleum Authority is depending on us to prevent illegal bunkering. Fisheries is depending on us to enforce fisheries enforcement. You are aware of the close season now, so most of the time we have to be out there on patrols to make sure that people comply. Customs is depending on us to prevent any smuggling at sea. Narcotics board is depending on us to support them with all illegal drugs. And NADMO is depending on us for any disaster, search and rescue operation at sea. So we cover a whole lot of facets of responsibilities out there at sea. Okay. And ours is also to produce a conducive environment so that business too will thrive. Like you rightly said, our anchorage is considered one of the safest, and a lot of ships would like to come in and do business. But it takes a lot of resources to get all these things done. Okay. As it's been said that any nation which derives a lot from the sea cannot turn its back on the sea. So Ghana cannot afford to turn its back on the sea. Okay. And therefore Ghana cannot afford to turn its back on the Navy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Commodore. Commander, and then I will also have to say congratulations to you. 60 years of Navy is not a cheap business. Right. Commander,
thank you. Yep.
You have the last statement. What do you expect from the general public, those who are being duped, those who are having problems on the road and on the corridor and all of that?
All right. Police work with intelligence, we work with information. So all these people who depend on our services are also, we are treating them to help us with information and also with assist us in our intelligence gathering so that we can work better for them. For us, as I told you, we are at sea, we are at the port, we are the railways corridors. And you know that currently the railway section is expanding. So as it's expanding, so will the crime also improve in that sector when it comes on stream. Okay. So we are well placed to support the three agencies that I've talked about, the ports, the railways, and also our maritime environment. Like he said, we are all collaborating as a security agencies at the port to make sure that our anchorage and our territorial waters are safe. And also those who do their business at our port are always encouraged to do business with us because we are there when even the crime is committed to investigate and bring the culprit for prosecution so that they will be happy to say that, yes, when they had a challenge at the port, it was dealt with and dealt with properly. Okay. We are on hand actually to make police is by our vision now, we are trying to make citizen-friendly policing. So we encourage anybody, if you have a challenge at the port, to come to the station. Okay. You'll be well received. Your complaint will be taken, and then we will take it from there, so that everybody will feel safe in doing business at the port. Secondly, let me congratulate our Navy brothers.
Yeah, 60 years.
For their 60 years. Yeah. In fact, they don't do anything without inviting us.
The police.
And I'm sure with this celebration will be.
You definitely be part.
We'll be part. Yes. We'll trade them to the end.
On that note, we thank you, Commander, and we thank you, Commodore. Also, next week we'll have the NACOB here. We also have the national security in here. So if you have issues around the port business that concerns NACOB and national security, they will be in next week. We have begun just letting them expose their roles to you. As we move on, we'll be dealing with the subject matter one after the other specifically. We thank you for watching the program. Also, thanks to the entire crew. Lawrence Gazy produced the program, technically produced also by Frank Jones, Joe Lavoy, and the rest of the team. Bosompra, thanks a lot to all of you. The program is an initiative of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. We'll return same time next week.